Hey, what's going on everybody? It's Wilhelm Scream and welcome back to another day in Destiny 2 for some more Destiny 2 news and Season of Arrivals, Festival of the Lost, and soon to be Beyond Light Intel. And today of course is another Friday. XUR has returned, Trials of Osiris has returned, and we will be covering all information regarding those and your weekly Friday update, as well as a couple of other glitches, cheeses, and farms that you might want to take full opportunity of this week, as it is Festival of the Lost. But first, let's get to XUR. Most people don't know you can just run right through this little tunnel. And here he is. He can be found in the Winding Cove in the EDZ this week. And we're going to get to all his loot and everything else I just mentioned in just 1 second. But first, I just want to remind everybody I'm still doing the giveaway on my YouTube channel. The next one will be at 50,000 subscribers. All you have to do to be entered into that giveaway is like this video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, turn on the notifications, the bell that's right next to the big red subscribe button, and follow me on Instagram or Twitter. They'll be linked in the description box down below. I also encourage everybody to go ahead and join the Discord channel if you're looking for any help in anything that we talk about in this video. And as always, if you stick around till the end, I'll have a secret hashtag you can leave in the comments section to be entered into that giveaway a second time for this video. And remember, those secret hashtags, they stack between all videos. So if you haven't done this on a previous piece of content on this channel, why not go back, check out another video, and of course, do it again. Alright, so let's get to it. Mr. Spaghetti Face XUR. What is he selling today? Whoa. Okay. That's a pretty good haul, everybody. Yeah, definitely visit XUR today. So to start off, he has the Wardcliff Coil. I haven't seen him sell this in forever. This is a pretty amazing rocket launcher if you don't have it. Definitely an exotic you want to have. There's a great way to farm out one of the Nightfall strikes. I believe it's Strange Terrain if you have 3 people using the Wardcliff Coil. So definitely pick this up. Shoots a long volley of rockets, so you get a whole barrage of rockets rather than just one. And mechanized auto reloader or auto loader. Yeah, pick it up for sure. Next thing, we have Wormhusk Crown for the Hunter. This is a 63 total roll, 17 recovery, 22 discipline. That's pretty good. I haven't seen this for sale for quite some time. Dodging gives a small health and shield bump. So, you know, if you're a hunter that likes to play PvP, this is sort of a go-to for you, I'm sure. Definitely pick it up. We have the One-Eyed Mask, which I actually don't have. I'm picking it up right now. This is like the one Titan exotic that I've never been able to get. So I am elated to finally get this. I don't know if the meta is still as great as it used to be for Titans, but this was the PvP exotic for Titans for quite some time. Highlight and defeat those that harm you for an overshield. Highlights the enemy who dares to damage you. Track down and destroy your enemy for an overshield. I'm not exactly sure why this was so good for so long, but it was pretty much because anybody you went into a one-on-one battle with, you were going to get an overshield afterwards. So you could just chain this. And Titans are so good already, especially when they get into small bunched groups. This was pretty amazing. I don't know if it's still the best, but definitely one to have, and it's a good roll. 64 is, I think, one away from top. I think 65 is the max that you can get, so almost max roll. And then we have the Fellwinter's Helm for the Warlock. This is a very interesting exotic. It used to have a pretty weird glitch where if you died for some reason, if you died near an individual, it would give a debuff to any of those that are surrounding that person. So it was actually pretty crazy in Trials the very first week it was out. I think it got patched right after that, but it was a big divider if you didn't have it. Certainly was able to level the playing field for those of you who did have it but weren't the best players. Powered melee kills create a burst of energy that weakens nearby enemies. And like I said, this is a 62 roll. This is fairly evenly spread. 14 resilience, 12 recovery, 14 intellect, and 10 strength. Pretty good across the board. Arc, solar, and void melee kills create a burst of energy that weakens nearby enemies. Finishers and kills against more powerful enemies increase the radius of the burst and the length of the weakening effect. So this is another great exotic to have in your arsenal if you don't have it. Plus, it looks really cool. This was sort of one of those weird speculated on exotics because this was shown in the original trailer, I believe, for this season that we're in now, Season of Arrivals. I believe it was released then. Actually, it was released before the previous season. I think Season of the Worthy, this originally came out. But it was in the trailer, and everybody thought maybe this was Alderaan wearing a helmet because this was the helmet he had on. And there was some weird lore around him not wanting to be seen and always wearing his helmet. Turned out to just be this exotic, but hey, good exotic all around. So XUR is definitely worth the visit this week. And that's going to be it for all the information regarding him. Now we're going to jump over and just check out Trials has returned, as I said, and the map this week is the Cauldron. The rewards at 3 wins are the auto rifle. The reward at 5 wins are the gloves. The reward at 7 wins are the helmet. And the reward for flawless is the class item. So, take advantage of that. 3 wins gets you the auto rifle, and it's a pretty great auto rifle, so definitely worth the grind, even if Trials isn't necessarily your thing. It's only 3 wins. Anybody can limp there. And in other news, of course, we have the Festival of the Lost going on at the moment. The Haunted Forest is in town. One of my favorite events of all the seasonal events, just because I love the Haunted Forest. It's really fun. It's a really fun activity. And if you haven't been keeping up to date with the week of events in Festival so far, you might not know that one of the most sought after items is not candy or chocolate strange coins, even though these are in short supply, but is actually an item that I don't even have in my inventory at the moment because I use them all, the Cipher Decoder. And the reason the Cipher Decoder is very important, or at least very sought after at the moment, is because if you go over to your Seasonal Triumphs tab, go down to Festival of the Lost, you might notice this triumph, the Cache Glory. This requires you to loot the 5 extra chests at the end of the Haunted Forest, and you need to loot 45 in total. So you obviously won't necessarily be always able to loot all 5 at the same time, but in total, if you loot 45 of them, you get given a new item called the Ascendant Lens. And at this point, we have no idea what this thing does. It might do nothing, but it does seem to have a very unique design to it, very Dreaming City-esque. So I'm just going to keep going ahead and speculating that I think this has something to do with Wish 15. Every single time I talk about this, I'm going to reference it. But it definitely has something to do with the Dreaming City. I mean, just by name alone, Ascendant Lens sounds very much like anything associated with the Dreaming City, as we have the Ascendant Challenge every week. And it looks that way aesthetically. But to this point, we don't really know what it does. Like I said, it doesn't do anything at the moment. It is simply just an item, but it's also been speculated that because Festival of the Lost was not supposed to be released until Beyond Light had actually been released, that this item might actually have something to do with some new quest in Beyond Light. We'll have to see. But in either case, you're going to want to get your 45 Cipher Decoders so that you can get your Ascendant Lens, just in case you don't want to miss out on anything, potentially. And Cipher Decoders are in fairly short supply, as I said. They don't drop from every activity as often as we liked. There was a glitch that allowed you to use the Spire of Stars raid over here on Nessus that would essentially let you get to the boss checkpoint right after you've actually defeated the boss, but before you actually picked up the chest. This allowed you to repeatedly spawn in with a buddy over and over, trading essentially the checkpoint, getting the chest without having to defeat the boss, and this counted as a completion and would allow you to get Cipher Decoders fairly rapidly. I was hearing numbers like 25 every hour or so. But that has actually been patched at the moment, so really the best two ways that I'm seeing to actually farm up on Cipher Decoders very easily is to get a group together and go and do patrols on the moon specifically, because it is the latest expansion. I think for some reason patrols are awarding Cipher Decoders and other places aren't, maybe? Or it could just be because the Toland patrols are very, very quick, and there are several of them that rotate around the different maps. So if you get a group, you'll probably be able to pick them up in tandem, and they're, like I said, very quick. So even if you don't get a Cipher Decoder on every patrol completion, you'll be able to just make up for that in the amount of number of patrols that you'll be able to get done. But another way, if that's not your thing, if patrols are just not your thing, even though makes a lot of sense, you can of course also go and do the Repeatable Heroic Adventure, which this week is on Nessus, but this will rotate every week, and you can still do this in the upcoming weeks. And sometimes the Heroic Adventure, depending on what it rotates to that day, and this does rotate every day, has a very quick adventure, so you can actually solo these very easily. And I was actually getting about 2 to 3 Cipher Decoders maybe every 10 runs or so. So this is another good option. And like I said, hopefully one week it'll be on a very quick adventure, maybe on the EDZ. There's some really quick ones there. But then once you've farmed up your Cipher Decoders, you're going to want to go ahead and move into the Haunted Forest, and because of a new glitch, you can essentially get your 45 chest completions done in half the time. And that is because of a very interesting new workaround that was discovered almost right as the last glitch was patched. And that is that when you get to the final chest, when you go and loot the first chest with your Cipher Decoder, there's a small window between when you actually hold your loot button, whatever it might be. If you're on a controller, it would be X, or whatever the corresponding thing is on the PS4, or on the keyboard, whatever you map that to. But your loot button, if you hold it till it's full, and then essentially move over while holding it to the chest next to it, you can actually loot both chests. Now, you won't get loot from both chests, but both chests will count as being looted. So you can essentially get 2 chests for 1 Cipher Decoder. So this allows you to double them up. So in 23 loots, 23 Cipher Decoders, you should be able to complete this triumph. 23 to 25. So that cuts down on having to farm as much as you need. And remember, you can only hold 25 Cipher Decoders at once. So this is actually the perfect way to get this done in the most minimum amount of time, the most efficient process. And that is going to be it for all the information in today's video, everybody. Thanks for sticking with me all the way to the end. I know that was a lot of information, but hopefully some of you found it helpful. I like to cover everything that we can when we do these XUR Friday updates. So much information going on. And for the secret hashtag, you can leave in the comments section for today's video. Leave a hashtag XUR or a hashtag spaghetti face, because that's something I always want to remember to leave as the hashtag. I never remember to. And somebody always sounds off in the comments about it to me, like, why don't you ever make it hashtag spaghetti face? Well, today, hashtag spaghetti face or hashtag XUR, or a hashtag Festival of the Lost, or a hashtag Trials of Osiris, or any of the other things that we talked about in today's video. Leave them in the comments section. And as always, thank you all again one more time so much for watching. I am Wilhelm Scream. Of course, we will see you in the next video. Little.